We started, you know, Deep. You need to shut up so we can begin now, mate. Right. So, welcome to this week's podcast. We've had an upgrade this week as 666 is too busy having his chest air platted to take part. So, it's today you've got Deep instead and Billy. How are you both?
I'm good, Trish. How are you, mate?
Now, Deep, shut up now. We wouldn't shut up. We've been waiting for an hour to try and start this thing because he wouldn't stop talking. And now he won't talk. Come on, Deep.
I'm as good as someone can be when he's bullied by two old fellas.
Oh, you are in no position to talk after the abuse you gave poor little Ken the other week. He's been in hiding ever since.
Yeah, he's been avoiding me.
Yeah, he couldn't handle it. He was so nasty to him. It was unreal, picking on him non-stop all the way through the podcast. Poor guy.
Yeah, Ken's like that.
He's such a quiet guy as well, isn't he, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, anyway, we have to start on a serious note, though, I'm afraid, because I think we're going to have to start with a farewell to the legend, the one and only Diego Armando Maradona. So, well, as he modelled his lifestyle on yours, Billy, I think it's only right you start off with your favourite memory of the man, many considered the greatest player of all time. Off you go, Bill.
I think he probably was the greatest player of all time. Everyone rates him with Pelé, but I think in what he'd done for Argentina was fantastic. He carried that side, and it wasn't the best side, but it was the best side in the world because he was in it. And I can't say no more than that about him. He was a fantastic player. I know the hand of God keeps coming into all the equations, but he's just doing something to try and get his team an advantage. But the second goal he scored in that game, you've got to hold your hands up and say it's the best goal that's ever been scored in the World Cup.
Well, do you blame the hand of God on Maradona or on Peter Shilton for being crap and not just clearing out? I do as well for Deep. Yeah, Shilton, definitely. If Clements was playing, he would have flattened Maradona then.
I don't know about the keeper situation.
And the size of him.
Exactly.
If Maradona is stretching his hand out, he probably can't touch Shilton's head.
Exactly. Shilton's a foot taller than him. He could have just leaned over and plucked that out of the air.
Foot.
Yeah, it's one of those things, wasn't it? You know, Shilton still should have got it. I don't care if he got his hand up or not. He should have still got the ball.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't blame Maradona for that. I blame Shilton because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still whines about it now.
Yeah, that is why it's an even bigger mistake because he still hasn't moved on.
Mm.
No, he hasn't. No, you're right, Deep.
Neither has the British media.
Yeah, I don't understand why they concentrate on that. Maradona did so much, and all they worry about is this hand of God. It was one moment in an entire career.
It wasn't even the most ridiculous moment of the game.
So do you rate him as the best as well then, Deep? Because both me and Billy do think he's the best ever.
I cannot say for the word ever, but he was far and away the best player for his generation. Maybe with different lifestyle he could have achieved more now. Or maybe with different rules, maybe he wouldn't have been good now. Same goes for players of this generation. Maybe they would have transferred even better to the previous generation, or maybe they would have crumbled. But at least he has to be up there with the best in his generation, and thus one of the best ever.
I think he's up there with Fred. I really do.
I wouldn't go that far, Bill. You know, you're overdoing it there. I mean, there's praise and there's ridiculousness. That's some of Fred's touches. I mean, they're on to the next pitch.
Yeah, you're right.
He couldn't. I tell you what, he couldn't play on one of those. You know where you play on those pitches where down the park where there's pitches side by side by side. You know those ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Play on one of them because the ball would be on the wrong pitch every time you touched it, wouldn't it?
Now then, let me bring something to light. Fred has been nominated for Player of the Month for which month is it? November.
For what sport?
We're going off topic a bit here.
Yeah,
We've got to get back to Maradona because he deserves it. And that goal he scored, have you never seen a goal scored like a... Everyone was saying, Reed should have kicked him. Everyone else should have kicked him. He was just too quick and too skillful. And they couldn't get near him, really, could they?
And people are forgetting how hot it was and how you know the pitches weren't like they are now. You running at pace on those kind of pitches, it's not easy.
No. And he done great at that when he went to Italy as well, didn't he? You know, he was he carried that side as well.
That's Napoli. Yeah.
And Napoli, yeah, he carried them as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And got them to the heights that they've never done before or since.
Exactly.
And what a fantastic player he was.
It's a shame his time at Barcelona ended so sadly when Goycochea just smashed him apart, didn't he? See, that's the thing the modern players don't have to worry about. That's why I don't think they're as good. They don't get anything like the abuse of defenders that he got. Nobody does. But, defenders could get away with so much more then. And the pitches were awful. And he could still do runs like that. That run in the 86, against England, that second goal.
Against England, yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's got to be the best World Cup goal ever, hasn't it?
And you got to remember the state of the pitch he did it on. Messi can't even play on those pitches. For all the talk of how great he is, he can't play on those pitches. I've seen him struggle.
I remember particularly against, I think maybe it was Milan. Like Barca were complaining and they didn't even lose the game.
Yeah, they can't.
And it was only part of the pitch that wasn't up to standard, which used to be the norm back in the day for guys like Maradona, George Best, even Pele.
Yeah.
The ball, even the football used to be harder, heavier. Used to soak in more water and everything. Yeah, dribbling wasn't as easy. Neither was shooting.
As Chris was saying before, the tackles that come in from defenders and midfielders that just wouldn't be allowed today. And he was riding tackles that, other people had just fell over. And
they were waist high on him, and he just hold on to the ball and run through them. I mean, how could he do that? It is unreal.
Yeah, players these days, you can't tackle even if you get the ball cleanly first. You're not allowed to touch the man. Back then, we could just touch the man and forget about the ball.
Somebody was saying that he's basically a cross between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but the good points of the pair of them. Like he had the power of Ronaldo, but he had the build, the quick turn, the quick feet, and all that, and the safety skills of Messi.
Yeah.
And I can see that. I think that's a good comparison.
But he also didn't have the professionalism, we might have to say.
No, but it was a different era. Nobody was that professional then.
But I personally think that is one of his positives actually, because he was so eccentric and everything. If he wasn't, maybe he wouldn't be so good.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying, but he was talking on the pitch, didn't he? I know you get people nowadays who have got flaws, your Gascoignes and all that, who are geniuses with flaws. His flaws didn't come out on the pitch. He might have done off the pitch, but once he got on that pitch, he was a fantastic player.
Are you talking about the old Gaza or the new Gaza?
Either.
There's new one in the town. Flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Right, should we go anyway? I think we've
Yeah.
said enough on him. Should we go on? There's another sad one, obviously, with Papa Bouba Diop dying as well. I mean, his goal against the
Yeah, very much.
Senegal for Senegal against France is something to never be forgotten. Do you,
Yeah.
do you even remember that?
42.
Nope.
I do, yeah.
I do as well. I just wondered if he would. I didn't know if he'd be old enough.
Yeah, it was a great goal. But 42 years of age, that's no age at all, is it? For anybody.
Ah,
You know,
sad.
Yeah, very sad.
And everyone he's such a nice guy apparently. Everyone said
Yeah, yeah.
even before he was ill, people used to say about what a nice guy he was.
Yeah. I loved him at Fulham as well. You know, he was full of himself and really a real character in the midfield there, you know what I mean? And I just loved the way he played with a smile on his face and that, which you don't get much these days, and I thought he was a fantastic player.
I don't know, you do see Grealish smiling just after he's won a free kick when nobody's been anywhere near him. But that's more of a sort of slight, smug grin as he's cheated, got away with cheating again, isn't it? But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a sad loss.
Do you even remember him playing deep?
No.
Alright.
That's why I've been trying.
Because he was ill for a long time, so he retired quite early, didn't he? Sadly.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, he got off football just about the time I started getting into football more seriously.
He's a very good player. Like, you missed out there. He was. I agree with Billy. Really good to watch.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Oh, well, I suppose we should move on to the reviews now. So we got
okay.
of them. Palace versus Newcastle. Newcastle winning 2-0 at Palace, which is a bit of a surprise to say the least.
That was a shock.
Yeah, and Jolinton scored, which is even a bigger shock.
yeah.
Yeah. It is, yeah. It was 2 goals in the last couple of minutes, wasn't it? And I watched the game. It wasn't a great game. But the 2 goals were okay, actually. Good luck to Newcastle. I want them to get points. I know I'm not a big Bruce fan, but I want Newcastle to do well.
I love Bruce as a bloke. He's a lovely fella, but just as a manager, his teams always seem to play the same diabolical football.
Yeah.
So do Roy Hodgson. So I've got no problem with them beating his team. Let's be honest.
At least Bruce hasn't destroyed Liverpool ever. I tried to. At least
Hodgson.
Bruce has never tried to.
Yes.
Yeah, Bruce has never tried to destroy Liverpool, so you have to like him more than Hodgson.
To be fair, Hodgson didn't try to destroy Liverpool. He was given the job at a time when there was literally no money. It was going bankrupt, and he was stuffed basically.
Yeah,
it
wasn't his fault.
Yeah, he didn't understand the club.
Yeah, exactly, and he would still try to play the same old defensive dire.
Yeah, but that's not his fault. He shouldn't have been given a job. That was the problem.
He never had the players trusted to make an impact, really.
Players like Poulsen, it says it all.
Come on, you had one of the best left backs ever in Paul Konchesky. That was enough.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of my favourite ever players. Yeah. Oh God, I can't believe he's.
Now wait, now there is a face. Now there is a face even a mother would struggle to like.
Well, his mother came to his. Do you remember when he was getting stick off the Liverpool fans, and his mother was defending him? You're just thinking, love, just don't bother. There's no point. Even you may be his mother, but even you must realise he's crap. But anyway, we go off topic here. What about the Palace?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them look to be in trouble of going down, do they? You know, they just look to be mid-table mediocrity, don't they?
Yeah, there's worse teams than them, sir.
Yeah, that I was going to bring up the same thing. It's not because they're not bad enough to go down. It's just that other teams are even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's quite a few really bad teams in the league this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nothing without Sahara. They're a one-man team, aren't they, Palace? They're not.
It's odd because they shouldn't be. There's no reason for everything to rely on Zaha. It's quite odd how it's become that way.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I'm still quite fearful for them this season because I don't think this is the year for older teams to thrive as much as they used to before.
Yeah.
And they struggle even after lockdown because for the first 1 or 2 games, I think for 2-3 games they had very positive results. They were even in with us out for the European places, and then they just fell off a cliff. And you never know what happens with them because they can beat a team on the counter, but
they don't.
They're very
They
uninspiring.
don't do the same amount of running as the rest of the league. They tend, because they stay compact and just hold their shape. They're not putting in the same amount of running and the same amount of distance. So then, so they can get away with being older and more experienced. I don't think it's that much of a problem, to be honest. There's too many bad teams. I mean, Burnley is stuffed because they can't spend money because they're in the middle of a takeover. West Brom are dreadful. Sheffield United haven't got a striker or a goalkeeper worthy of the name.
and they're selfish.
Fulham are the worst team I've ever seen in the Premier League. And how they do? Yeah, well, we'll get to them later. So yeah, there's they should be safe. I mean, to be fair, they're not the worst team. They're the worst managed team. They're just awful to. They're just like they've got a great team for Fulham, decent team. I mean, but it's just badly run. Never
Yeah, link it back to Palace,
But we'll get to them.
Newcastle.
Yeah, we'll get to them in a minute. Palace, he'll make the most of what he has. They'll stay mid-table, maybe bottom half, but they're not going to run out of trouble.
I think both Newcastle,
Newcastle are the ones in more danger of those two, I think, at the end of the season. Because Steve Bruce has got nothing running, and they've got nothing in their team.
No.
Yeah, so they could easily end up getting dragged into it, but I think they'll be safe just because of how many bad teams there are. So we may as well go on to Brighton Liverpool, which was pretty much the last game I saw of the weekend, because after the VAR, I'd had enough. I couldn't handle much more. No.
Oh, you couldn't take a draw now. Come on.
Oh,
being top of the league.
It was just you just get fed up with seeing the same old things. I mean, there's no atmosphere anyway, which is bad enough, which makes it difficult to watch games in the first place because you just don't enjoy them the same. But then you add it to these ridiculous VAR decisions, and you're just thinking, where's the clear and obvious in that penalty? Tell me how that's clear and obvious. I mean, if he needs to go to they need to look at it for more than a split second, and they also broke the rules. FIFA and IFAB have told them that they have to watch the replays. The referees on the monitor have to watch them in full speed, not in slow motion. But they didn't. They watched it in slow motion. So it's just like you just watch it. You just think it's a cheat. It is match fixing now.
But he did catch him. Whatever you say, he did catch him.
Yeah, but not every you can have contact, Billy, without it being a foul. It wasn't a foul. He had contact with him, but he'd already lost the ball, so it didn't matter. He wasn't going to get a
But come on, Tris. No, Tris, come on.
No,
you can't say. Wait. You can't say it's match.
Robertson.
No. Listen to me. You can't say it's match fixing because they're inept. They're just not good enough. I don't think they're good enough.
It's
Wait,
not
wait.
about them not being good enough. It's about them not. It's about them changing. They're altering the results. That becomes match fixing, whether it's deliberate or not, is what I'm saying. Doesn't matter if it's because they're inept. They're fixing the results of matches because they're altering them with ridiculous decisions. I mean, it's. I'm fed up of seeing goals ruled out because somebody's offside by a ball hair. You know, or his armpit's offside, or he's pointing, so that's ruled out. How could that Bamford goal? How could he be ruled out for pointing where he wanted the ball to be played? How can that be offside when he can't score with his fucking arm?
Finger,
that's ruled as offside.
I don't understand that.
This is why I've had, I just get to the point where when you see these decisions, I have to turn off the TV and walk away because you just think there's just no point watching the game anymore. It's not football.
I think we all know that VAR is an absolute joke, isn't it?
Well, it's not the VAR, it's the officials running it. It's a joke how they're doing it.
Yeah, well, whoever's running it is a joke then, because it's just not working.
Yeah.
Stupid decisions affecting games. And
if they look at an offside and they can't tell with the eye on their first viewing that he's offside, when they see it side on like that, it shouldn't need to be held up and reviewed and draw lines in. It should either be you can see he's offside or he's not. That's the easy way, just to keep games flowing and that. And I think you've both gone, so I'm going to pause it. Oh.
It's the interpretation, Deep. You get one referee who's going to give a decision one way, and another referee in the box who's going to give it the other way. And it's just not on. It's so inconsistent. The technology is there, but it's not being used properly.
Yeah, I don't think the technology is at fault at all. Yeah, it's not perfect. There are things you can improve. But the people who are responsible to make the decisions using the technology, they are completely clueless and useless. They give a decision one way. The same incidents happen. They give it the other way, and then again next time.
Or they don't give a decision at all the next time, do they? It's ridiculous.
Next time they don't even check the incident. I don't know what it is. I never understand it.
One of the ex-refs, I can't remember, was it Clattenburg? One of them anyway. One of the ex-referees said yes after the game. Like, he said he watched it and. He was saying about this IFAB ruling where they have to watch it at full speed. He's saying this was his quote was that he's saying he believes that they must be telling the referees what decision to make before they go over to the booth to watch it.
I can see that.
Yeah, because only one man's ever changed his decision after going over, ever stuck with his decision rather than going with the rule. And that was Graham Scott, and he didn't get another game to referee until this weekend after that. And I think it was Palace Newcastle was the next one he referees, like 2-3 weeks. When there's all these games going on, they're short of referees, yet they didn't give him another game for weeks.
But you've got to look at the standard, haven't you, of the refereeing. It's very poor in the Premier League. You see the European games and the referees have control of the game and they make balanced, decent decisions. Don't get me wrong, they go to the VAR as well.
Yeah.
But it's done in a better way than what our referees are doing. Our referees look clueless. They're using it as a crutch they don't mind if they get it wrong. And the linesman not putting the flag up. What's that all about? It all needs sorting out.
That's ridiculous.
They're just waiting for someone to get injured.
Yeah, did they do that in Europe? Because I didn't notice them doing it yet last night when I was watching Liverpool against Ajax. They were putting the flag.
I don't think they have.
So why are they doing it in the Premier League? I don't understand it.
I don't at all, Tris. It's one of my biggest bugbears that someone's going to get injured, aren't they?
See, this is the thing. There's a game being on, and we have not even spoken about the game at all. All we've done is said how crap VAR is. I think that proves out.
Well, go back to the game. Let's go back to the game. Yeah. We are happy with the point.
Doesn't that prove the point that how bad VAR's run, that all we've done is talk about it?
Yeah, it does, yeah, it does, yeah. But you must be happy with the points. They played quite well, actually, Brighton. And it could have been 2 up at half time.
They did have breakthroughs, but once Klopp changed it at half time, when sorted out with the defence and they dropped off, well, he had to take Connolly off because he was absolutely ineffective afterwards. And in the second half, we dominated. So, not really.
He's only just come back from an injury, hasn't he? So you've got to give him a little bit of leeway.
That wasn't why he took him off. He took him off and brought Lallana on because he wanted to change the way of playing and play through midfield. Because he'd gone with it. It was a tactical change. What he'd done is he'd started the game. This is what I kept reading people on the Liverpool site saying, oh, they're missing out, they're overrunning us in midfield and stuff like that. And because Minamino's in there, for some reason he's become the latest target of abuse. But yeah, they were literally, Brighton were just playing, they changed their tactics because the last few times they played Liverpool under Potter, they got destroyed because they tried to play their normal game, play out from the back, they pass it around, they play out from the... And they just got they got pressed to death and they lost badly because of that. So this time around, he thought, rather than that, we'll just break the press, we'll play the long balls, we'll get it as forward as quickly as possible. And it was working in the first half, so, he stuck with it.
First half, they played really well.
Yeah, they were doing well in the first half, but in the second half, Klopp made changes at half time, and it stopped working, and that's why he took Connolly off. That's why he was, when you saw him, he was in such a song when he came off. He was fully fit. There was nothing wrong with him. And that's why he brought on Lallana rather than another player to go in, to just slot in a similar place. He brought on Lallana because he wanted to change and play through midfield. And then obviously Lallana went down injured 10 minutes later, so it totally wrecked the plan anyway, bless him.
Surprise.
I thought it was a fair result, though. I thought 1-1 was about a fair result.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were better first half, and Hughes were better second half.
I said that in the review. I said it was probably on reflection a fair point, a fair result, but it still doesn't feel good when you're losing it under those circumstances. It doesn't feel fair at all.
All right.
Does it? It doesn't. No, I mean, you go when you. If the referee had pointed to the spot and he'd seen it and he'd given it and he'd decided it was a penalty, fair enough. That's one thing. But when he's being overturned and you can't see, it's not a clear and obvious error by any stretch of the imagination. Because everyone was just like, he's looking at something. You can even the commentators like, hang on, the VAR are checking for a possible penalty, and it was the shock in their voice, like, what penalty? Danny Welbeck didn't call for it, and afterwards he even said it wasn't a penalty. So, how is that a clear and obvious?
It stopped the goal celebrations, doesn't it, as well? This VAR. It stopped the goal because you don't know whether you've scored or not. You don't know whether it's going to be allowed. Even if it's a good goal, you're looking at the other way saying, is this going to be given or, it's just a...
Last night, Jones scored that goal, after Nana made a mess up. And I'm there thinking, is he going to, what's he going to find to rule it out? And then I remember we're in Europe, so he wouldn't find anything. He wouldn't be looking like... Deep's gone quiet.
No, it's not because you're in Europe. It's because you're not playing Real or Barca.
Yeah, that's true. We'd have found something to rule it out if we were.
Yeah. They would probably have looked at the tape 3 years ago and then they would have said, oh, years ago.
Right, we've done Liverpool, we're moving on.
Man City, Burnley. Wow, it's deja vu, isn't it? 5-0, 5-0.
It was a rout.
Isn't it the
It
same?
should have been 6-7.
Yeah, Man City spanked Burnley even when Burnley are rising up the table. Now they're in free fall. What more can we expect?
They're short of a striker, aren't they, as well? And they haven't got much. They're hard working and they're doing everything, but they're just not good enough, Burnley, are they, at the moment?
No, they're a mess, and they can't do anything about it because the chairman can't spend because they're in the middle of a takeover. If he would, anyway, because he's in dispute with Sean Dyche, isn't he?
Yeah. I feel sorry for Dyche. I think he does his best, and maybe it'd be a good thing for him to move on. Maybe
I think he should.
He's a good manager.
Yeah. Maybe the takeover will give him funds to spend and he can show what he can do with a proper team, maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe there
hopefully.
might be a job opening soon.
Well, yeah, Ole might be on the way soon, so he could step
No,
in
no,
there,
no,
couldn't he?
no. Ole,
But that'd be a bit of a
Ole
step
is
down for him. So.
wait, wait. No, Ole is rising above the league, but there is your favorite guy.
He's
Your
driving.
favorite guy is falling off.
Ole's driving the bus. Unfortunately, he parked it in front of the Spurs goal. That's the only thing he did wrong.
Yeah, but your favorite young manager is is struggling very hard.
Who's that?
Arteta.
Yeah, I can't see them going for dice though, can you? And they all seem
I
to
don't
think
know.
there's a lot of them seem to think they should stick with Arteta. I just don't understand what they see in him. He's an arrogant. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. No, so we'll move on to Everton Leeds because there's nothing really to say about Man City Burnley. It was just battering, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Route. Yeah, it was.
struggling.
Right, let's go on to it.
So we go on to the shock result of the week, was it, Bill, do you think?
It wasn't a shock at all to me. We were outplayed by them. They've got too much Everton.
I was shocked actually. I was shocked it was only 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. Leeds were brilliant, to be fair.
And Everton, and I have to say something. Billy, even when we were trying to pull his leg and everything, Billy was always saying our squad isn't deep. Only our same 11 players are good enough, and I think that's been proven right.
I don't think that was the problem there. The problem is they're starting to look unfit again, which has been a constant problem under Carlo Ancelotti in recent years. The players all season haven't looked fully fit or even close to it. They don't even.
Well, they were a lot fitter than Everton.
Yeah, and Leeds, on the other hand, just ran them off the park. But it's disturbing. I mean, like I was saying on the site, you keep hearing it's Carlo's son doing all the shouting and stuff, doing all the tactical work on the sidelines. That really worries me.
Yeah, is he passing the baton on? I don't know.
No, but Carlos' son isn't really a coach. I think he's supposed to be a fitness coach.
Yeah, he's the fitness coach. But this happened at Bayern. He was the fitness coach there, and he basically handed him the baton on the tactics and that, which is why he got sacked. He did the same at Napoli. He started off, he took control, and then he gradually handed over more and more responsibility to his son.
Yeah, and even at Bayern, the players were so much away from the tactical and fitness coaching provided that they used to go out to a park and train by themselves.
Yeah, but the Everton players can't do that at the moment because of the pandemic. They can't go and train in the park, so they're stuffed. They're not fit enough. They're in trouble.
But he's making some basic errors, Carlo, or who's ever picking the side. We had two fullbacks there that could have played, and he's putting square pegs in round holes. Playing Iwobi as a wing back. He's not a wing back ever. And you got Niles and Cuckoo there, and you had Kenny for the other side, and he's not playing them.
Yeah,
and they were the best options that we had.
Yeah, that's what I would see was the worry, is the way he's picked. He was saying he had, wasn't it, Leighton Baines has been working with Iwobi on his playing as a fullback. It's like, well, why don't you just get him to teach a fullback? You've got that, isn't that, how old's Nkunku? He's only like 20 or something,
18.
isn't he? 18.
18, I think.
Oh, well, there you go then. Why isn't Baines working with him instead and play him? And, he might actually have time to learn something. It's a bit late for
that. But he's looked good when he's played.
Yeah.
When he's played, he's done nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I've seen him once or twice, and he's been decent enough. He hasn't done anything bad. And even John Joe Kenny, he was one of the better players for Schalke last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, but he's not great, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking for a fullback, he might as well not be at the club if he can't play when you haven't got a fullback there.
And he's not that bad that you have to think. He's just a bit conservative going forward. He doesn't get forward as well. Well, you know,
Yeah.
if that's your biggest issue, then, you know, he can defend well, but he can't get forward too well, then surely you can just find a way to switch the, you know, alter the tactics around to suit it.
Yeah. Back to the game, it was a pretty decent game to me, a good game to watch. We weren't great, but they were, and
Yeah.
it was open, and there was chances. We had some good chances. Leeds had some good chances, but on balance, Leeds deserved to win, maybe by 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
But, you know, good luck to Leeds. They deserve it. The
And
fit, and they work for each other.
They need a better striker than Bamford.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
I know Ken thinks he's brilliant, but I'm sorry, he's just not a goal scorer.
No, he's not clinical enough.
I have nothing to say against Bamford. If I say something, he's gonna score a hat trick again.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't mind as long as he's not playing against us when he does it. Because I love Marcelo Bielsa, so I'd love to see them carry on doing well. I think they've been a breath of fresh air, to be honest.
They have, yeah, absolutely.
Probably the most entertaining team in the Prem, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a spare 90 minutes, 2 hours, they are the team you should be watching. If you just want to
Especially
watch
last
for
weekend,
fun.
it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, you'd say that, yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
But they are good to watch, I must admit. They are good to watch.
Yeah, but even last weekend, even if we're not trying to be funny, even last weekend, I would say Leeds Everton was probably one of the more enjoyable games.
It was probably the best game of the weekend, wasn't it? In terms
Yeah.
of actual quality of play and that.
Yeah, just as a neutral viewer, I think it should be one of the best games.
Yeah, exactly. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's good.
Anyway, should we move on to West Brom versus Sheffield United, which West Brom won first. Is that their first win of the season? It is, isn't it?
I think it is,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. Now there's only one team left without a win.
Yeah, that's Sheffield United, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the selfish lot. That's the selfish lot.
They're struggling big time, aren't they? They are struggling, and because they haven't got a striker, and they haven't got much else to do. They work hard.
And their
You know,
team's dreadful.
you can't blame the manager, but they haven't got a forward who can put the ball in the net.
And it doesn't help they're not defensively solid because their keeper's dreadful. He really is awful. We watched him. They were showing some of his footwork again on a TV last night. I just happened to catch a bit. I think it was Rob Green was going through showing what he did. You know, his attempt. He's got his legs almost widely spread and he's not able to move. You know what I mean? To spring across.
Yeah.
The ball's like within inches of his hand. All he had to do was spring forward. He'd have saved it, and he was getting nowhere near it because he didn't actually move. He just fell sideways. You know what I mean? Rather than dived across.
Yeah.
Awful piece of goalkeeping.
They're missing Henderson big time, aren't they? You know, they are missing him big time. He was great for them.
Well, if there is anyone that can comment on a keeper not spreading their legs out too wide, it's Rob Green.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, you know, but to be fair to him, he did concentrate and work really hard on the technique of goalkeeping. Rob Green, he was just a bit. He just used to lose concentration a lot and make mistakes. So, but like, it was really interesting what he was showing because when you see it. Because I hadn't seen the goal. I've got to admit, I didn't even bother watching this game. I was still sulking after the Brighton Liverpool one at this point. I didn't watch it, but yeah, I saw the highlight, and I watched. You know, I didn't even see the goal in that till I saw this program last night, and I was watching it. I was thinking, Jesus. And even before he said it, when they froze it, I thought, what's he doing? He's almost like. He's got his legs spread so far, there's no way he can move. What's he doing? And then when you see the goal, you're thinking, he could have stopped that. Anyone could have stopped that. It wasn't even a good goal, it was just rank amateur defense, goalkeeping, sorry. And he's just thinking, that's going to cost them over the season.
Even Pickford would have saved it.
Well, I won't go that far. It
really wasn't a good game to watch, was it? You know, I watched it. half-heartedly, I was, but it's not one you'd say, oh, did you see the West Brom game? It's just a terrible game, really.
Well, which was a good game to watch.
Say Everton Leeds.
Southampton
Billy will
versus
cry
Man
if you do.
Southampton versus
We're
Man
going to move on
United.
to the Southampton Man United
Yeah.
game for you, so you can talk about it. I bet you weren't saying that at half time when you were 2-0 down.
No. No. Like during the, I think it was just before after Malaga just popped over to our chat, and I was like, "Oh, we're done and dusted now. There's no coming back." And he was like, even though he's a gunner, he was like, "You guys can still win it. You guys will probably score." And then, oh come on! If there's anything better than winning big, it's winning by coming back when everything is going down.
It feels sweeter, doesn't it? And especially for the rest of us, because we know that it's extended Ole's time with the club another month. So we're all, everyone's happy in this respect, apart from Southampton fans, obviously.
No, but the thing is, even though I don't think Ole is good enough, I would still prefer us to be successful under him, so I don't care.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what I mean, everybody's happy, because other fans, happy because Ole's going to stay on, and Man United fans are happy because Man United won, so it's a win-win for everybody but Southampton fans, that result.
It was actually a very good game, wasn't it? Classic comeback. And I thought United played well. I don't know that they deserved to win, but probably did.
No, but we did deserve to win, I would say, because we weren't that bad in the first half as well. We had one or two chances.
No, I'm with you on that, Deep.
2-2. I would say 2-2 because you cannot say Southampton didn't deserve the goal because there were two excellent set pieces.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm with you, Deep. I thought
but I think on the balance of the game, it was one of our best games, I would say, this season.
Cavani makes a huge difference. When he came on, he made a huge difference.
I hope Kane isn't listening. I hope Kane never listens to this clip. I hope nobody says this to him. But I think he's right about Martial. I see.
I'm gonna cut that piece out and just paste it on the Man United site for him to hear.
And I'm not trying to slag Martial, but I think now I see what he's saying.
Oh yeah, I can see fully because that's what I always complained about that. But I can see he's got the ability to be a great striker, but he doesn't put the effort in. Simple as that.
But now I think Martial doesn't have the ability to be a great striker. He can be a good striker, but not a great one because he just like when you see Cavani, and I was never his biggest fan.
No, he's a great striker, Cavani.
But the guy is always on the move, trying to maybe pull the defender away, maybe trying to get on the ball and everything.
Martial's just lazy. It's not that he can't do it, he just doesn't put the effort in. He can do those runs, he just can't be asked. But he's been played on the wing for so long. It was a stupid decision to keep playing him on the wing. He's a crap winger. He's never going to make a winger. He's got no skill to play out on the wing.
He's just fast with the ball. Yeah. That is it.
Yeah, exactly. But you play him in the middle and you teach him how to be a striker. But they left him out on the wing so long, he doesn't know what he is. And then he's got lazy soul.
Because of the lumpy skirtle, he was played on the wing.
Yeah, that's because everyone reckoned he was a great striker because of that.
No.
Yeah.
But you see them runs Cavani made. They're just unstoppable, aren't they? What a great ball from Rashford for the winner. He went up wide, got the ball, and you could see Cavani's run coming diagonal. And it was a really good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cavani just busted a gut to get to the near post. Maybe the ball wouldn't come, but at least he was pulling defenders away. He was making space for other people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does what a striker should do. He makes runs. He's constantly looking to get on the end of a ball in. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. But at least he's made the effort to get there ready, just in case there is one coming. Brilliant player.
Well, what should he? Yeah, he's a Uruguayan striker. He makes runs. He can create for his team, and then he makes stupid comments.
Yeah, well, there's no point getting into that because it was not, it was like, do you know what? This
I haven't seen it.
people compare it
I
to
haven't
this
seen
Suarez
it.
incident, and it's like,
No,
it's a totally different
I
thing.
don't think it's that. I think I haven't seen it. Before I got to see it, it was taken down from his
I've
Insta,
seen
and
it, but it's just like,
I didn't try to search for it, but come on.
he made a
I
mistake.
think it's something and nothing. Yeah, he made a mistake. He apologised for it, took it down right away. Knew he'd made a mistake, but it was. I don't think it was deliberate. I think he put something on that he didn't think about before it went on, and I think it's something and nothing to be so. That's just my opinion. Like.
I understand it's the wrong thing to do and that, and he should maybe do some training of some kind in, I don't know, something to so he doesn't make the same mistake again. Anyway, but that's it.
Yeah.
Really. It was yeah.
I think with the current times, with the current social media and everything, that is I would say that's necessary for a player, a club, everybody now. I think whenever there is a new player coming in, I think after every transfer window closes, clubs should run a seminar for players, how to handle themselves.
No.
Maybe something he said is good enough or accepted in Uruguay, or maybe it's accepted in France.
Yeah,
maybe it's only abusive or offensive for English or for a particular. This should be made aware as well.
Yeah,
club should also take responsibility.
Yeah, I agree with that, but they shouldn't wait until the end of a transfer window. As soon as they sign someone, they should be on a, they should be trained in the culture that they're going to move to, and they shouldn't be. I'm not being funny, but I wouldn't let my players do social media at all anyway. It's just a disaster. It's not something a player should. I know there's some of them could get away with it. You get people like Milner and Robertson and that are quite. But I would, I would want someone on hand.
Oh, Robert is funny. Robert is so damn funny.
Yeah, exactly. Trent Alexander-Arnold and that, they've got to handle it. So you can leave them to it. But what you need is someone to keep an eye on. They should be when they first come in. They shouldn't be able to tweet. They shouldn't be able to go on Instagram, whatever, until whatever they're going to post has been checked off by the club. That's how.
Yeah, I think they should have a medium through which.
They should have media education, shouldn't they? Really, every one of them should have some media education.
Yeah, exactly. All of them should be. I think it is standard in the academies now, I believe. As far as all the ones I know of do it, so I'm assuming it's standard across the board. Like, but someone like when you're bringing in a new signing, you don't know whether they've had any training, so you should keep hold of their accounts and say, like, we need to check what you're posting before you post it, and otherwise you can't post. It should be part of the contract.
There should be someone at the club taking that responsibility and saying, before you post anything, it's got to go to the us,
Exactly.
And we'll vet it, and if you think it's okay, you can put it up, but it's got to be vetted.
Yeah, exactly. Until you know that they're okay to manage on their own, because they're representing the club. It's this isn't just this is something it's part of their job really. They're representing the club, whatever they post on there.
Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
And whatever he does gets associated with the club. So if it's good PR, it's good PR for the club as well. If it's bad PR, it's bad PR for the club as well. So it should be something every club looks at. But it looks like we're gonna miss him for 3 games.
Is there gonna be a ban? I didn't think there was. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw somewhere.
I'm not sure myself.
they're not completely sure whether they're gonna ban or not. But if he gets a ban, 3 game is the minimum now.
Jeez.
It used to be 1, but they've changed to 3.
Okay, well, if they think it's racist, then there's no way you can really argue with the 3-game ban. So
Yeah, but the biggest issue for me is FA are the ones who are gonna judge whether something is racist or not.
Yeah, and let's face it, he's a foreigner, so he must be racist because, it's okay when it's John Terry. He's English. We'll let him away with it. But when it's somebody foreign, can't have that, can we? Johnny Foreigner being racist because, So
now you just
you're probably right. That's a 3-game ban. Then let's forget that. Then you've lost him.
now you just brought JT up, and I was listening to someone talking about Anton Ferdinand and the incidents, and maybe I think there was a documentary or video about it. Yeah, and now I was wondering if JT does he take a knee before every game?
I don't know because he's in the coaching staff at Villa, but I've never seen him in the coach. But
yeah, exactly.
But I've seen Stuart Pearce do it, and he got done for racially abusing opponents on more than one occasion. He got trotted out when the Suarez incident occurred. He got trotted out to talk about racist abuse. And you're thinking, you cheeky, hypocritical prick. You were done on more than one occasion. You were well known for being racial abusing your opponents on numerous occasions. And now you've got the cheek to come out and complain about somebody else doing it. I mean, it's just a joke. So, yeah, I wouldn't take any notice of what John Terry's doing because he probably will take a knee. He'll probably say, I didn't. He probably still doesn't believe he did anything wrong at the time anyway, does he?
No.
And while we're on the subject of John Terry, anyway, should we move on to Chelsea Spurs? I'm not sure we can say a lot about the game, like.
I have only one thing to say. This game was the same game that Jose Mourinho played for the first time when he came to Old Trafford after Sir Alex he retired. After Sir Alex's retirement, he came there. He gave the opposition respect. He didn't try to play football. Same thing, he did it again, and he will do it again and again.
It's what he always does in the big games. Parks the bus. That's it. It's the way he plays.
I don't think either of the teams went to win it. I think they were both happy from the start with the points. They took no chances. There was no open football. It was all very pretty and little passes here, little passes there. But for me, it was a non-entity of a game. It was just there was nothing about the game.
I think
scared of losing.
Do you think? I think in Frank's case in particular, he really didn't want to lose to Jose Mourinho more than he wanted to beat him. If you see what I mean? Because he didn't. That would be something. That's a real sickener for him if he'd have lost. But not beating him.
I think
Yeah.
He's beaten him before as well.
Every time that Jose sends out a team, he sends out not to lose. So, that's normal. But I do think in that game, I think Frank Lampard was absolutely determined not to lose to Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
They were the better side, to be fair, Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
But it's not like a high bar that was set, was it? So.
Yeah, and on paper, Chelsea are a better team.
Well, yeah, they got better players, haven't they?
Yeah, they're better players.
Yes. Well, anyway, not really a lot to say. It was 0-0 and it was boring. But yes, we go on to our Wolves winning 2-1 despite the Jimenez injury, the clash with Luis. How did Luis get back on the? Why did they leave him on the pitch? I looked at him and you could see he was dazed. They're saying he was fine. You could see his bloody eyes. He could barely open them. He was gone.
But I thought they brought out something to stop that a couple of years ago. That you had to, once you've been concussed, you can't take no part in the game.
Yeah, but they're claiming
you can't have
concussed.
People doing that now. Especially after, the trauma that there's been and thing over the ball being, ex-players like Bobby Charlton and that having issues with the health. after supposedly being heading the ball. And then a player gets a ban like that and they don't take him off. I thought that was disgraceful.
I just didn't understand what they were doing. I mean, it was clear his head was gone. You could see it. I mean, he was just stood watching for most of the game because he couldn't, and he got some amount of stick off the commentators for like just being standing watching and that, when they were and I'm thinking the guy's clearly not right, he's clearly barely able to stand up. Of course, he's just watching and things are going off behind him. He couldn't see he couldn't think clearly. He should never have been on that pitch. It was a disgrace. And it's a shame Bernadette as well. What a player. I feel like we put the kibosh on him because we said he was the one. Remember, after we forgot about him last week, and then I thought, oh God, especially when we'd said Alisson for Liverpool, and then who got injured for Liverpool last night, who was missing. It's like, oh God, we're jinxes.
It's a shame because he's a quality player.
Yeah, brilliant player.
Yeah.
So
that was nasty challenge.
Yeah, let's just hope we can get back to the pitch.
It was a horrible clash ahead, but I've seen people suggest that it was a really bad thing from Luiz, like he's deliberately gone out to him. I just thought it was a bit of an accident. He was just charging in to get the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what's with everybody. Whenever someone gets injured, people are very quick to just get at the player responsible for getting someone injured, saying they did it on purpose. Come on. There are many people that would go out there to do that. Even
like that,
subconsciously.
I mean, he's smashing his own head into nobody's going to do... I'm not being funny, but like, if you're going to put the head in, you don't do it with a flying leap from 25 yards when you're racing into it, because you don't know what you're going to head into, and he's not looking at Jimenez, he's looking at the ball anyway, so...
Yeah, no, that was a total accident for me.
Yeah, it's just one of those
things.
What
wasn't an accident? It was the way Arsenal played wasn't an accident, was it?
Oh, they were awful again.
Absolutely terrible.
It's shocking they scored, really. That's the big shock. It was only 2-1. They should have been, a much bigger winning margin.
They looked awful, didn't they? They regressed, haven't they? Terrible.
Yeah.
They haven't got much at all.
I don't think Arsenal have regressed. I think it's just the case of Aubameyang not taking his chances as much as he used to. Before, he would score from half chances and everything. Now, he isn't scoring and the team has not been scoring. Even before when they were...
trying. That's the difference. And Lacazette's not there working hard beside him. There's
maybe for Aubameyang it's because of lack of trying, but for Arsenal, they're not good enough because they had all their attacking eggs in the Aubameyang basket, and now that basket isn't looking like working. So
I think it's
they can't score.
Bad management. He's upset the players. Lacazette's out because he can't manage with. Arteta can't get the best out of him because he just screams at him constantly on the sidelines. He's a crap manager. He doesn't know how to deal with people. He's just shouts at them constantly. He doesn't understand man management. Players aren't responding to him.
I think he believes himself that he's Pep 2.0 and you're not.
He does, yeah.
You're not. You're not. I'm sorry.
But at least they scored, because that makes their goal of the month competition for the EPL quite good this year. At least they got a goal for it, because they had a bit of a problem there. They've got the voting forms out this week for their goal of the month for November. That was their only goal, wasn't it, in November in the league?
But they're struggling because he hasn't got the man management and he hasn't got the experience to get out of the trouble he's in.
No.
And they're going to struggle this year for that reason. He's got no experience and no man management skills. It's telling on Arsenal now.
And they got Edu above him messing things about and blocking them from using Ozil and stuff like that. You're going to end up in it. It's just a mess. Needs to be sorted out. But if they did sort it out, we wouldn't be able to laugh at Ian. So let's hope they don't do it quickly.
But they are in a bit of trouble, I think. I can't, you should be looking for a European place at the least. And top 4, they should be, I hope you are hoping for. I can't see them getting anywhere near that at the moment.
And it's not just for Arsenal as the football club with history and everything. Even with the business they've done, they haven't been successful for much. For many, I would say decade. For a decade, they haven't been much successful. They haven't been bringing that much money into the club. And European places, preferably Champions League, is very important for them even financially.
Yeah. They're always going to struggle, though, aren't they? When you've got a new manager like they've got with Arteta, someone who doesn't actually know what he's doing, to be fair, and he's got someone, as Trish said before, like Edu, ahead of him in the coaching staff. They're always going to be in trouble, and there's no way out at the moment unless they change manager. And I think he's going to be the first casualty of the season.
Ooh, that's a big shout,
I
Bill.
don't think he's going. I don't think. Arsenal. Who are they going to get?
Well, Billy's
I don't know, but I'm available.
you
that's
couldn't do
something
any
else.
bloody worse, could you?
No. I really couldn't. He's been a bitter disappointment for me. But I didn't expect him to be great, to be honest with you. But he's been worse than what I actually thought he would be.
This has been the thing with its story of his career. He gets hyped up massively in the media about how great he is, when he's never been great at anything. As a player, they were comparing him with Xabi Alonso because they were playing at the same time and they're mates. The media were comparing it. It's like, no, Xabi Alonso's the best in the world in his position. Mikel Arteta is barely good enough for the Premier League. I mean, it's not a comparison. It's ridiculous. And he's the same in
I liked him at Everton.
They were bigging him up as if he was this world superstar that was going to rescue Arsenal, and he's not.
No. Yeah, they took a big chance and it hasn't paid off.
And then it's not just they took a big chance, it was the fact they actually increased his power at the club after the first season. You're thinking, oh, hang on, have you not noticed anything? Have you not been watching? Yeah. I was saying all along how bad they were. Everybody was telling me I was wrong. I kept saying, no, they're just lucky. Watch them. It's just like watching them under Emery all over again. They're getting results that they don't deserve. And it's going to, eventually, the luck runs out and they'll start losing. I don't like to say I told you so, but I told you so. It just beggars belief that the people at the club couldn't see, that people who are paid to see these things can't see it. Well, where's their stats analysis department and all that? You know what I mean? How has nobody at the club noticed how crap they were, but still getting lucky results? And then giving him a new contract? I just don't understand it.
They were definitely the worst side there, weren't they, against Wolves? Wolves are a very good team, aren't they? I think they run well. I think all the players play for each other, and they've got some really good players. I like that Neto, and I like, obviously, Jimenez. And they've got some, I like Connor Cody as well. I think they've got some really good players there, and the basis of a really good side.
I like
even I like Cody. Connor Cody. Even I like him. He is just one of the player you should be looking at. Yeah, but
nice lad.
But then he was deemed not good enough for Premier League.
No, that's not true. To be honest, Liverpool. He was seen as the next Steven Gerrard at one point. He was playing
Yeah. But what I'm
the
saying is,
defence and the midfield, but he just couldn't. We didn't. We needed to. He needed games, and we couldn't give him them at the time. So he was given a chance to go out, to go out and
but
make
that
a
is what
career
I'm
for
saying.
himself. He wasn't deemed not good enough for the Premier League. The problem was teams didn't know what he could, didn't see what he could do until he went to Huddersfield. That's what changed it.
Yeah, but that
Yeah,
is what I'm
and
saying.
good luck to him. He knew he wasn't going to get his game, so he moved on. And you've got to respect the guy for doing that.
Yeah,
And I
that
think
is
he's
what I'm
a
saying.
damn good player.
Youth players, academy players should be looking at him.
Yeah.
It's not about the level you're playing at. It's about playing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
better
Get
to
out
be
and get a
playing
game.
week in, week out. It's better to be playing every game for a team in championship than it is to be playing 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there in a month for a Premier League team.
Yeah,
Yeah, very much so, Deep. Yeah, you're right.
well said. God, I hate agreeing with you. It's not right. Something wrong with it. Shouldn't be allowed. We'll have to stop that. Move on to Leicester Fulham anyway, because
Oh, now that was a shock, wasn't it?
Before we go on, actually, do you think Wolves European places the end of the season?
I
Top six for me.
I wouldn't say anything with any kind of definitely
Yeah,
attached to it, but I think top half is a minimum for them.
So top
I
six.
think they're a bit better than that, Deep, to be honest with you.
Top six would put them
Top
in
half.
Europe. So
Yeah, I'm saying that's where they'll finish sixth,
Yeah.
but 5th or 6th.
okay.
Top six, maybe not. Top half, definitely they should be aiming for at least top half.
Okay. Leicester Fulham then, yeah, and it was a shot. You're right, Bill. Fulham beating Leicester.
Yeah, it
2-1,
was.
obviously.
Oh, I thought Leicester were the title favorites now. What happened?
Do you know what? They've been doing well, but the last couple of games, they've been awful.
Yeah, and isn't it? I've said this to you loads of times about Brendan Rodgers. When the pressure comes on him, when people start lauding him and saying he's got a chance of pushing for the title, always, for some reason, the bottle goes.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, Tris, and it's been borne out over the last couple of weeks.
It's bizarre.
I've been saying it many times. Brendan Rodgers isn't good enough.
Yeah, he was okay with Celtic in the Scottish League because there was no Rangers in the league to compete with him. As soon as they started, getting competitive, he ran away.
He packed his bag and ran away. Yeah, exactly.
And now and Leicester, they'll start well, they'll do well, but as soon as the pressure's on and there's something to play for, they'll fall away again. But Fulham, I mean, they were like a different team. They were actually organised for once. Can't see that, can you see that as the long-term way for them playing going forward? Yeah.
Well, I think Fulham played really well. I was surprised because they haven't been great this season. I think we all know that. And I think, it's been said before that the manager just isn't good enough. Parker just hasn't been doing the business. But there are players there. And I think Lookman coming into the side has made a difference. And, good luck to them. I want them to do well because they do play good football. But they just haven't been good enough up to now. Maybe this is a turning point for them. I don't know.
Yeah, Fulham have one or two really good players who are better than just fighting for a place in the league. But who knows? Who knows? Now they've started converting penalties. Maybe they can win.
And they were much more defensive, though, much more organised. That's what I was meaning. Is that, do you think?
They're more organised.
This is what is going to be going forward, or do you think that was just a one-off performance because they were playing one of the top teams?
I don't know what Parker is gonna do, but I think that is what he should be doing because they're so open. Even if they can score 1 or 2 goals, they're not good. If they play the way they used to play before, they're not good enough to stop teams from scoring twos and threes.
Yeah.
But Leicester didn't bother them that much, did they? I didn't think, no clear-cut chances. And I think they thoroughly deserved it. And as Tris was saying, if they play like that, they'll win. They'll win enough games to stay up. But it's whether they revert to what they've been doing, which is gung-ho football, and they just can't live with the better teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. If you're a team coming up from championship, you should know whether you can outscore them or not. And if you can't, then you shouldn't try because you're not Leeds. You're not Marcelo Bielsa.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't have a
Yeah.
you don't have a good enough system to make a group of average or even under average players compete with world class talents.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. So anything else to say on that game?
Yeah. Speaking about world class talents, I think we should talk about Jack Grealish.
Yeah, move on to West Ham Villa. West Ham winning 2-1, despite Grealish's best of efforts in the swimming pool. I'm sorry. I know I keep going on about, but I can't watch a game with him in. I tried again, and I ended up after about half an hour or so, because I said to you, didn't I, on the editors window, Bill? I said, I've had enough of this. I can't handle this anymore. I'm going to bed. I had to switch it off.
And you missed the best one just after it's gone.
But he was so much. I mean, you were just watching. Even the commentator first was going on about how he's the most fouled player in the Premier League. And he was saying about, he always gets kicked from pillar to post and all this. By the fourth time, he clearly dived with nobody touching him. And he's saying about, well, he was saying, even the commentator was saying, well, he does use the dark arts a bit. I mean, that one was a bit like a little this, like, and by it's just, you're just thinking, you can't. It's just ridiculous. He's getting the decision every single bloody time, and he's clearly not being fouled. In fact, in probably 50% of the instances, he was the one committing the foul in the first place. How? You just think, if he was playing for a big club, I know people keep arguing about whether he'd manage in a big club. I just think if he was playing for a big club, he wouldn't get the benefit of the doubt for them decisions, because referees wouldn't think that players are targeting him because he's the only player on the Villa side, because that's what I think. I think referees genuinely believe that he's being targeted and kicked out of the game because he's the only point of danger Villa have, and that's why he gets so many decisions.
But they must watch back the games, Tris, and say, this fella dives all the time. Why don't they book him when he dives, and then he won't be doing it again, or he'd be off?
I've no idea. I really don't get it. You're preaching to the choir here, mate. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
I mean, you see, Abid sent that message, didn't he, in our WhatsApp chat, because we have a WhatsApp chat for the podcast. Deep. We have one, to organise it, like. So I say organise. You've seen what it's like. It's kind of like at the last minute we go, hey, is anybody free? We go, we do one. But anyway, so I say organise. It's a loose sense of the word. But yeah, even he said, I've got to say, he was right about Grealish. I mean, it's just beyond a joke, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, like Billy said, surely even referees should know by now. He's not someone just breaking in. He's been playing for 5, 6, 7 years professional football, top level football. Come on, you should be able to see it.
Yeah, it's not like it's a new thing, is it?
Yeah, exactly. He's been doing it from day one. Maybe at first he was just weak. We can say, oh, he was a boy playing against men and everything. Now, come on, it has to stop. It's like you're saying, Chris. It can slowly drive viewers away. Neutrals, they get turned off by these things.
it's just not entertaining to watch someone cheating on it constantly, is it? It's just not.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen one or two people, one quite popular streamer say that he can't get into football because of all diving and cheating. And
Yeah.
it's not just Neymar who does it. There are many guys who do it. And just phrasing him, every game it's happening, and it's not good enough. For me and you, we've grown up with football, we can take it. But for neutrals, it can
I
put off
can't
many
know because
people.
me and Billy, we grew up in I mean, Billy grew up in an era well before both of us two, obviously. But I mean, me and Billy grew up in an era where diving was very, and they did it. Don't get me wrong, they've always done diving, but they literally, players got kicked from pillar to post, and they tried to, players like Grealish wouldn't have lasted because you had to pretend not to be hurt. You wouldn't show you were hurt because you didn't want them to know they'd hurt you, because you didn't want them to come and give you another kick, because you know full well that if they thought they'd hurt you, they'd be well happy to come and kick you again and again, like. So it's a different
Yeah, Billy.
Why is he getting pulled up though?
Billy, you're from
Come on,
you're from an era before football was invented. So when did diving turn into
That's 30.
No, in his day, football was played by entire villages against another village, and they just used to. It was just it was just cheaper than a war, you see.
But tell me this: why aren't the referees doing something about it? If you've got VAR, why aren't VAR getting onto the referee and saying he's just blatantly dived, put him in the book?
Exactly.
Well,
I know they're not allowed to, actually. To be fair.
Billy,
Nobody should be allowed to.
Yeah.
Billy. VAR can't distinguish between your finger being offside and your foot being offside.
I mean, how long does it take them to decide on an offside? What was it I read somewhere? The IFAB said something about if it takes you minutes to decide something, then it's not a clear and obvious error, and it shouldn't be a decision. It shouldn't be used as VAR. That's what they've said, and they've said that about whether it's offsides or free kicks, penalties, whatever. They've said if it takes you more than, if it takes you a few minutes looking at it over and over again to see if it's right or not, then it's not a clear and obvious error, and it shouldn't be ruled on by VAR. So, that's what IFAB has said. So why are we even... See, we're back to talking about bloody VAR again. And we haven't even mentioned their goal that was ruled out, that was for a ridiculous VAR again, where it's a fingernail or something, or maybe his hair had fallen over in front of his face or whatever.
Actually, Villa were the better side against West Ham. And they're a bit badly done too, really. And, but credit to what Moyes has done there, by the way. Got them up to fifth, and he's doing really well there. I could never thought I'd say that about David Moyes, but he has done really well at West Ham.
I know he's a favourite of yours, really.
Yeah, and that guy Jared Bowen.
You love him, don't you, Deep? You love David Moyes for his time at Man United.
I like David Moyes just as much as you like Roy Hodgson, Chris.
I actually like Roy Hodgson. I think he's a lovely man. I just didn't rate him as a manager of Liverpool. I think he's a very good manager of Fulham. He was a very good manager of Fulham, and he's a very good manager of Palace, and he was good at other clubs. He was terrible at Inter Milan as well, because he was just above his level. But he's a lovely fella, unlike Moyes.
Yeah, I'd say that back there.
It's difficult to like a guy that's very good friends with Richard Keys and Andy Gray like he is. Every single interview at the end, he sends a message to Richard Keys and Andy Gray out, on the TV out there. Like, it's like, oh, you muppet, you sad kid. It's just a way of making sure they say the right thing about you. You know what I mean? Because you get the media on side, and you've half the battle's won, innit? Look at Arteta. The only reason he's still in the job, the media are behind him. That's why nobody's just started questioning him.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway.
But fair play to him. Fair play. He's done all right.
he does what he does. He'll get them mid-table and they'll be fine. He'll keep them out of relegation trouble, but he's never going to challenge. He's not a European level manager, is he?
No, absolutely not. No.
And honestly, West Ham aren't a European level club, at least now.
No, absolutely not. Dave. What's our next game, Tris?
That's all the game's done. So I was going to say, should we move on to the talking points?
Yeah, you're talking points, mate.
So I don't know if you heard this story, Billy or Deep, but it concerns an ex-Toffee and Joleon Lescott. Fourth tier fourth tier Spanish side, Racing Murcia. They've been trying to sign Etu to play in a cup game for them, but instead they announced that they'd signed a star, which their words, I'd just like to say, their words were English star Joleon Lescott, and like everybody, even his mother, went, "Star Lescott?" No. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So he's apparently they announced that he'd signed for him, and then the next day he's like, "Nobody told me." He didn't even know. Or so he said, but he did admit. Since then, he's admitted that he did actually have talks with them. But we don't know. I mean, to be fair, it could have been his pocket that had agreed to sign for them on his behalf. Because remember, he's very good at talking from his pocket, isn't it? Normally, it's cars, obviously. But do you remember that?
I know,
yeah. What was it? It's Mercedes he tweeted a picture of just after they'd been battered in the cup by a lower league side.
No. It was just after the relegation was confirmed, I think.
No, it was a cup match. Remember, he was sat in the stand. He was sat watching him and Micah Richards, who's another prick I can't stand. Another lazy get who couldn't be asked to train, and then somehow got himself a job in the media when he was a lazy. He shouldn't been anywhere near football. That guy. But anyway, yeah, they were laughing and joking, and then remember they got dogs abuse from the Villa fans. And then as he went home, as they were going home, he posted up picture of his flash car, as if everyone was saying, as if to stick two fingers up to the Villa fans, but no, he claimed it was his pocket that had done it. But my question, anyway, about this story, going back to the story itself, is how far down the list of stars do you think Murcia must have got before they spoke to Lescott?
The bottom of the barrel, I think we're talking about.
Yeah. He's not exactly the first name that comes to mind, is he?
No, he's certainly not. No. Although I must admit, I did like him at Everton, and we got great money off City. I can't say nothing bad about the guy.
Yeah, he was a very good player at Everton, wasn't he? It's just a shame.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, we won't go into why he ended up at Everton and why he got his kneecaps done.
Yeah.
But you don't upset the wrong people, and he bet he didn't do it again.
I know.
Yeah, he's a bit of a he's a bit of a dick off the pitch, isn't he? So, yeah. But anyway, so what do you reckon? 150 names they'd phoned up? Because they started with Etu, which, fair play, that's a big name. That's a star.
Yeah.
But when you get into...
I thought it would be well below 1,000.
I mean, surely you'd at least go for players that are still playing first, that are free agents that have been released in the summer. So they'd be above him at least, wouldn't they?
You would think so. You really would.
Bless him.
I'm just surprised that the Spanish team still remembers the name Joleon Lescott.
Somebody must have, his mother must have been on holiday there at the time or something.
I bet the supporters have never heard of him.
Yeah.
I bet they don't have any supporters actually.
They're a new side, aren't they? They're only a new team.
They're a new side,
11 years or something old. That's why they're doing all this. They're trying to get their trying to create a bit of buzz. So they've
profile up there.
Star, yeah. I mean, he's a star in the same way I'm a star in podcasting terms, nobody's ever heard of me either, Anyway, we better move on anyway, because Don't want to get you upset talking about one of your heroes there, Bill. So,
thanks for that.
right, we'll go on to Barcelona because their players have finally agreed a pay cut with the club. So they're saving it 122 million plus a further 50 million in bonuses in euros, by the way, have been deferred. But they still need to reduce the salary bill by 100 million. So who do you reckon they're going to get rid of? I mean, that's got to be...
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, but they only need to save 100 million. So if they get rid of Messi, I suppose that leaves them enough room to buy anybody then, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
But
I think Messi cost them about 70 million a year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I was joking. Like 100 million, but it ain't far off, is it? Let's be
No.
honest.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if they get rid of Messi and Griezmann, they're well above 100. I
They
think
won't need to
Griezmann
get
is
rid
at
of Griezmann if they get rid of Messi, because the problem is him and Messi don't get on. That's why he's
All right, I didn't know that.
another one. By the way, this talking about the wages, that reminds me. Did you ever hear about when Neymar was at Santos and they gave him a new contract to keep him? Did you hear about they paid him so much to keep him because he wanted that much money? They had to shut down their futsal division and their women's team to pay his wages.
God,
holy.
I didn't know.
That's obscene, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, just something that I just.
They could have just- They could have just given him the club altogether then.
It just seems a bit much. I mean, if he wants that much, he's not worth. Nobody's worth it that much, surely.
No.
Because
They
he
wouldn't
didn't
take so.
he didn't end up staying much longer anyways.
No, but they did earn a fair bit when they sold him to Barcelona, I'm assuming. Well, we don't know because like Barcelona have lied
Nobody
about how
knows.
much, haven't they?
They've lied again and
All
again. They've,
backhanded payments and stuff, brown envelopes and all that,
many.
isn't it? Tax.
I think he ended up costing more than Ronaldo did.
We don't know, do we? Because we don't know how much was paid. We know that there was secret payments, but we just don't know how much. So there could be a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even now, they, from whatever that has been confirmed, I think they first announced it as 75 million, and then again there was another I don't know 50 million on top of that. They're just lying cheats.
Yeah, we did this a lot. Yeah. We got. Actually, can I just get your opinion on something, Billy, that's just happened? Well, I've just noticed this. Just come up in my feed now. Decore
Go on,
has just
mate.
come out and said James is too good for Everton and will join a top club.
Well, something about that on the BBC News pod today, and he did, apparently he said he's a fantastic player. What's he doing at Everton? And not the sort of thing I want to hear, like from the car.
Oh my god! Well, surely he should be saying, well, if he's that, if it's that bad a team, Everton, that fantastic players aren't good enough. Why are you there, lad? Surely you shouldn't. Surely you're not. You're doing yourself a disservice as well, and yeah.
I think he's trying to prize Hammers up, but got a bit confused with his wording. I'm hoping he is anyway.
But I think it's more a case of Decore is now sick and tired of having to work back for James.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to get rid of
He
him.
just wants him out of the club. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It could be
that could be it. Yeah.
Anytime I watch Everton, Decore has to do two-man's job when someone is attacking
Yeah.
him. Because James,
He
yeah,
gives you nothing defensively, does he? He's a luxury
Yeah,
player. But
yeah. Chris used to say that, he doesn't work much hard. He's a fair weather guy. I used to think maybe a little bit. Most fair players are, but come on.
Okay.
He would rather lose the game than make a tackle. Back.
I hate to say I told you so. Well, no, I don't. I love to say it, so I'm going to say it again. Let's be honest. I love it. I want to say I was right. I'm going to sing the I Was Right song. I was right and you were wrong, and I'm going to sing the I Was Right song. Sorry. Stop that. Yeah.
He was bought, wasn't he? Raised the profile of the club, and he is a good. He can be a good player, but he hasn't got legs, and he's not great defensively. We all know that.
I don't even think it's about legs, Billy. I don't think it's about legs. I think it's more about determination. Bruno has looked shattered for months. Still, he works hard. You cannot say he isn't tracking back or he isn't trying to win the game or anything. It's more about the determination and the desire to win a game.
Yeah, very much so. And I'd take a player like that over Hammers all the time. I think he's a talented footballer, but he hasn't got the desire and he hasn't got the attitude to want to work hard. He's a good player, but he is a luxury player. And a team like Everton can have one of them, but the rest have got to do his work for him. And that's, you're always going to struggle if you've only got 10 men fighting for the team.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad player for Everton, but saying he's too good for Everton, I don't agree with that.
No, I think it's the other way around. Too good, and I said that before you signed him, and I stand by that.
Yeah. And if he was that good, and if he was good enough for top teams, surely someone would have come in for him when Real wanted him out of the club for 3-4 years.
Real wouldn't have been trying to get rid of him for all this time, would they, if he was any good?
No.
They only bought him for one reason and one reason only. They saw that goal in the World Cup and they decided to sign him on that because they knew he'd be he'd be all over he'd be all over the advertising and all that. That was all that was about. And he was the face of Pepsi for a while. He
sells shirts, doesn't he? He sells shirts and we got him for free. So, even if he doesn't play, it doesn't cost us that much money, has it? So.
But it's cost you results, is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we're talking about James, do you guys know how old he was when he made his debut?
No, go on, Dave.
48.
No. No, it's
17.
a serious question. No, I think he was 14. Or maybe
was he
13. Wait.
See, you don't know. You don't actually know. You just said you think he was 14. So what you're saying is you're guessing. Oh,
no,
I thought you knew this. This was something you were going to share with us.
No, I'm not good with maths,
it's guesswork. Yeah, we know. That's why you sport Man United, mate. You don't understand.
He was 13 years old when he made his debut.
13? Well, yeah, but it's a different... Well, it was in Colombia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do you think his legs have just gone away?
No, I just think he's lazy.
He's dead now.
He was always slow.
Good enough.
That was the thing. He was slow, and that's why he plays well in the World Cups and stuff, internationals. You give a player like that time and space, and he's a very good player. But you just don't get that in club football, whereas you do in international football. There's a lot of players like that.
They certainly don't in England, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of players, though. You give them time and space, and they can be devastated. Jack Grealish, much as I dislike watching him, give him time and space, and he can be, and he's going to cause you problems. So he's going to be a much better international footballer than he is at club level. So I don't understand why he's not getting picked. Even though I don't like him, if I was picking an international side for England, he'd be one of the first I'd look at.
Instead of
playing Grealish, a very, very good player.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm saying, he can play even better in international football.
But who would you drop from the team to get Grealish in?
Well, I don't know.
Well, he's been playing the last two, hasn't he? He's played the last two internationals.
Yeah,
so, he's earned his way in.
Yeah, I don't watch England play because it's awful watching it.
No, I don't watch much of it.
So I wouldn't know. Well, don't know what that's got to do with James Rodriguez anyway, really. I don't know where we've gone there. We've completely lost the plot as per usual. Should we go?
I was deflecting there.
Yeah, I've lost what we were talking about, to be honest. Right, should we just... so while we're on the subject of Real Madrid, we may as well talk about Eden Hazard, injured again. Because he always had a problem with being lazy in training, even at Chelsea. And he turned up at Real Madrid well overweight and that, and he's had weight issues non-stop. He even admitted during the during the lockdown he was struggling to keep his weight down and that. But the thing I wanted to talk about is there's been talks over him returning to Chelsea. Tentative talks about him returning to Chelsea next season. Do you think Chelsea should consider it? Because I don't see why they'd want him.
Where would he play?
Well, exactly. I mean, even if he's fit, like that's the thing. This is a rare thing. But why would they want him? They've moved on, haven't they?
You'd think so. The likes of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner, you wouldn't think he'd get his place. Well, I wouldn't think.
Yeah,
especially with his record.
They also have guys like Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi and GH who can fill in cover for the team.
Yeah,
And Sainz, really good players.
Yeah,
doesn't make
they're
sense,
good players,
does it?
they're younger players. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So why
Maybe Everton.
Why would
Maybe Everton for him again.
Ooh. Fighting talk there, that is. Would you have him at Everton, Bill? I bet you.
Of course I would, yeah.
Replace James
Of course,
Rodriguez.
He could be, yeah.
Yeah.
We'd play with 9 men then.
He's a better player than him, but I mean, he threw his toys out of pram and soaked for months on end and stuff at Chelsea, didn't he? At times.
Yeah.
It's difficult to like a player like that if he's not in your team. I just can't take to him, to be honest. I can see he's a great...
He's had a bit of a nightmare as well. Hasn't he? He's had a bit of a nightmare since he went to Madrid.
I mean, it's all of his own making. Doesn't train.
Yeah? No, I'm no sympathy with him.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's hard to have... some players, you think, like if Kante has an absolute mare, you just think, oh, poor bugger. And you can't help but like N'Golo Kante,
Yeah.
but Eden Hazard, it's difficult to take to him. Even when he does something brilliant, you think, wow, that was amazing. But it doesn't make you warm to him as a person, because he's just, he doesn't put the effort in, and he sulks and stuff, and you're thinking, I can see why Chelsea fans worship him, but not for me. I think he's held them back, if anything, in recent years.
I think well for them, to be honest with you. When he was at his best, he was one of the best players in the Premiership, but he never done it consistently.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think Hazard.
He'd have a month where he was brilliant, and then he'd sulk for the rest of the season. That was what annoyed me about him.
Yeah.
I think Hazard for Chelsea is like Coutinho for Liverpool. He was good when he was there. Yeah, he was capable of great moments, but the team is much better after their departure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's some sort of indication if the team is better after their departure.
Yeah, could agree with that. So you wouldn't take him back then, Deep?
No, I wouldn't if I were Chelsea.
No, okay. So we'll move on to the next one then. Oh God, I've got to pronounce this, and I can never remember how you pronounce it. I've been practicing this one. I've read how to pronounce it because I couldn't remember how it's pronounced, and I'd read it and I've been practicing it over and over, and now it's come to it. My mind's gone completely blank. So I apologise if I pronounce this completely wrong. Husam Ayar, or something like that. Awar, is that it? I can't remember now. I've been practicing it all bloody day as well. Anyway, he's got a sulk on with Lyon since his move to Arsenal fell through because they wouldn't pay enough. Personally, I think he had a lucky escape, so I can't understand why he's so still sulking. But anyway, he's pretty much damn tools. Got dropped at the weekend and was on the bench. they asked him to go. When at the end of the game, all the subs that don't play get sent on to go and do a cool down session on the bench, on the pitch. I mean, after the game, he refused to go on there, saying the pitch was too rough or something like that. So, but like you just think, just sold it. Yeah, but my point is, do you think, if you're Arsenal, for instance, would you still want to move for him?
No.
You wouldn't think so. I wouldn't if it was Arsenal manager, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
Because I rate him as a player, brilliant, but...
I think he's a good player.
Yeah, Arsenal need creative players. They have a creative midfielder in Ozil. They don't want to play him because he has, let's say, in air quotes, attitude issues. Now you have another guy who has shown. Yeah, you have a guy in Houssem Aouar who has shown himself to have an attitude issue. Why would you want to sign another one if you can't handle it?
I agree with
that. But you sign Pogba. If you sign Pogba and everyone knows he's got issues.
It's not his attitude.
I think it is very much his attitude.
He's not a poor trainer. He's not someone who doesn't like to train or he doesn't want to work with the team or anything. Pogba's issue isn't about attitude. It's just that he just isn't capable of playing full wholeheartedly for 90 minutes. He's just a player who wants to shine in highlights. That's not his attitude. It's his application that's the issue.
Yeah, but you say
but Pogba has attitude. No, when I'm saying attitude, I'm saying his attitude towards his team and everything. Pogba has never had any attitude issue either at Juve or with France or at Man United.
Well, he had a bit of an attitude issue when he was originally at Man United, but that was caused by wanting to sign with Alex Ferguson's son's agency because he wanted money.
Yeah, even now when there is any trouble, it's not with Pogba and Man United, it's with Mino Raiola and someone at the club. It's never. Yeah, but I would personally sell Pogba right here, right now if it was on me and if it was possible. I don't think he's that good for us, but it's not his attitude, it's his application.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
So none of us think Arsenal should return for Aouar then?
I don't think so.
They should. And I don't understand it with players who down tools like this and who are so big of a prima donnas. Because maybe Arsenal wouldn't come back for you, but maybe a Juventus might.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe a Real Madrid might look for you. Maybe an Atletico Madrid.
The example I'd use is, as much as I detest him, and I do detest him, I can't stand the guy, Luis Suarez at Liverpool. Yeah, he was an absolute shithouse. He wanted out. He fought to get out. The club refused to let him go to Arsenal, remember, for £40,001 and stuff like that. He was even going to go to lawyers and all that, but he didn't damn tools. He came and played. He played bloody brilliantly, to be fair, much to test him, and I really hate to say it, and he got himself removed to Barcelona instead. If you're AR, whatever his name is, whoever he is, that bloke, that Leon midfielder, he might be missing out. I mean, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern, all looking for midfielders. Paris Saint-Germain need midfielders. Man United need midfielders. There's a number of clubs there that are looking for that. Because he can play deep hands. He can play a defensive line midfield or a central midfield. He's the kind of player lots of clubs are looking for. Chelsea are desperate for a player like him. They'll pay bigger wages than Arsenal would. Man City again, there's plenty of options for him. So why don't you just go and say, right, well, if I'm not going to get a move to Arsenal, I'm going to play better and get a move somewhere better than Arsenal. We couldn't have to get bloody worse, could it? Let's be honest.
Talking about that, I can't see I know Partey's gone to Arsenal, but I can't see how Arteta is going to attract players, better players, for Arsenal. Who wants to go and play for Arteta the way he's shaping at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, especially if anybody that's a friend of Lacazette isn't going to move to Arsenal, because he will have told all his friends about the fact that that Arteta's an arsehole to him, constantly constantly screaming at him, and he's they're just hard to work for, and he's arrogant and stuff like that. So that's a lot of people you've already ruled out of ever joining your club. You got a point there, Bill.
I think they're going to struggle to attract players.
Because Edu's got a bad rep as well, so he's not going to attract anybody. Yeah,
Edu has already ruffled a few feathers.
Yeah, Edu had a bad rep before he signed, to be honest, before he joined. He was well known for being a bit of a problem child.
Yeah, and his attitude and his way of handling business has already cost one or two players already. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't think the usual thing's going to get sorted out anytime soon. He's just going to have to contract down and go.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to happen for Ozil because he only has 6-7 months left now.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't put. I mean,
he's some player as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Why leave him out of the squad altogether? It's just ridiculous. When you're paying him that
I don't understand.
It's lunacy.
I just don't understand.
You could understand if they had. There's so many great players, but they picked Mustafi in their squad, for God's sake. So there's a space. There's a space that's just an empty shirt. You may as well. I mean,
there's a space.
Christ, I mean, he's awful, isn't he? You know what I mean? You just think, yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, so we move on. What about, I don't know, well, I know, Deep, you're bound to be an expert on this, because I know you love Scottish football, so you'll probably be the one that will need to talk on this one. So I was just thinking, with Celtic in a bit of a mess at the moment, but, the fans turning on him and, basically rioting outside the ground and all that, should they sack Neil Francis Lennon or should they stand behind him? Because after all, the fans only a few weeks ago were saying we're all Neil Francis Lennon. So, what do you do there?
Look, Chris.
I'd get rid of it.
No, we need Deep on this one because he's the Scottish football expert. That's why he's here, mate.
Oh, go on, mate.
No. Look.
I'm being sarcastic, Bill.
Oh, come on, dude. Innocent bugger. Look, I don't watch much of Celtic, although I did. I think I watched two games, I would say, or maybe even 3 games this season. But Neil Lennon wasn't good enough for them before he left them. He was just winning it because they were the only team that was even near enough capable of winning the league. He'd never pulled up any trees or anything, and now there is a team that can fight with them, that can punch back at them when they throw a punch and everything. Oh, it's gone off the rails now, just off the rails. I would never have appointed him, and I would sack him right here, right now. And I would say he's a bit of a prick.
He is. I actually know him from his crew days. So I remember him then, and he was a dick then. So I can't. I don't like him as a person, but as a player, he was a very good player, but a bit slow.
Yeah,
slow. But he was a decent enough player at what he did. But as a manager, he's hopeless. I mean, the problem with him is he's constantly instigating issues. He can't go a day without causing a fight. He's one of those. He's in an empty room and he'd start a barroom brawl with himself. He just can't start, and that's where the problem lies. It's it's not that they've got a decent enough side there to be competitive with Rangers at the very least.
No, I would
But
say
do you
The problem
think
is,
that's the problem, Chris?
clear far and away better. I would say even now they're much better than Rangers.
I don't know. I think Rangers have improved a lot. So it's a bit. I don't know. There's a lot of players there at Rangers I wouldn't know if they were better or worse than Celtic players. I just think the issue is that you'll never know because the managers aren't at the same level. And I'm surprised because I didn't think Gerrard would be this much. Would do so well, to be honest.
I was just going to say, Sid, I think that's the problem. That he's finally got someone against him who's turning out to be a decent manager, I think. And he can't hack it. He's all right being number one and no one was touching him. But now there's a bit of competition. I think he's getting found out.
Yeah, well, I don't think I think people knew already because he was useless. Was it Bolton? Was it Bolton? He took down and then he went to Hibs. Took them up from the Scottish Championship, but then he got the sack in the Premier League because he just isn't very. I just don't think he's that good a manager. He's got the wrong type of personality. He's too abrasive. That's Ferguson could be abrasive, but only when he needed to be. Most of the time, he's a likeable fella. You know what I mean? Whereas Neil Lennon, I just think, is constantly abrasive. He's one of those kind of people that just can't turn that off. You know what I mean? And that's not what you need in management. You need to be able to, you need to be able to do both things. You need to be able to be a friend to the players when they need it. You know what I mean? And at times you need to be able to kick them up the arse. But I just don't think he's got and I don't think he's got the intelligence either to actually figure it out.
No, he's not a manager that ever come back to England. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, I think he's just like he's. But a strange decision, and I don't know why they brought him back.
No.
But all the Celtic fans were saying they were all Neil Lennon at the time. It was like a big thing. I know Ed Seven doesn't like him as a manager, doesn't rate him either. So it's not just us, people within the Celtic fan group. It seems a very split on him anyway. So. Divisive.
Yeah, and especially because Rangers are flying, aren't they? And it's putting even more pressure on them. So I think he could go as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing with Rangers is they were competitive last year as well. But after Christmas, they just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, they came on holiday out here. See, that was the problem.
Yeah, they probably met you.
Yeah, I was going to say I took them out for the drink. That's the problem. I said, this is what Billy drinks in a night. See if you can manage that. And that was it. They were all ruined. Ruined, mate. Ruined them. But so did Celtic. They came out to Dubai as well. In fact, did you hear about their game with Hibs? Did you? They asked to have their game against Hibs moved a couple of days or a day, from I think it's from Saturday to Monday night. Because they wanted to go on a short break to Dubai, for the warm weather training, Hibs said no, we don't want to move it. But the SPFL said, yeah, but they're the home team, and because it's in the same set of games, we'll let them move it anyway. Hibs are furious, well, what's the point in asking us if you're just going to move it anyway, really, isn't it? It's very strange because if you do that in England, if you ask and they don't want to, even if you're the home side, unless they agree, they
wouldn't move. They wouldn't even move from the same day, early lunchtime kickoff to an evening game. Come on,
true. Because Ole's and Klopp have made sure to mention that, haven't they?
No, but I agree with what they're saying. When and the biggest issue of me personally is it happens to teams that have away European games, not even teams that have home European games.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a game against Istanbul in Istanbul on Wednesday, and then we had a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah.
At least move it to 3 o'clock, or maybe 5:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. See,
we were discussing this last week.
Yeah, but I was a discussion on the Liverpool site. Someone was saying to me, "Yeah, but it's only 3 hours. How does it make a difference?" And I was trying to explain this. The match preparation. You know, if it's at 12 to 12:30, all you're doing is basically the players are getting up, having breakfast, and then going the ground and playing. They're not having time to have any preparation. You can't do massage. You know, you've not got time for a proper recuperation session ahead of the game, you know, to get them ready. If you've got 3 o'clock kickoff or a 5:30 kickoff or whatever, you've got a few hours to work on their, you know, any ones that have got slight knocks or tired muscles, you've got time to work on that, you know, through massages and ice baths and stuff like that, and get them ready. It does make a huge difference, a 3 hour difference. I think people forget that, how, you know, it's a professional sport, and 3 hours does make a difference in preparation.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, they're professional footballers, top athletes. They shouldn't be complaining about these things. But no, that extra 1%, that is the difference most of the time.
Yeah, it's
everybody has that 99%. Everybody has that 99%. It's about that getting that extra 1% that gets you to 100.
Yeah, I agree. It's
or
tiny margins.
Like to 98. It's not about just Liverpool or Man United. It's about players. Playing Wednesday, traveling Thursday, playing on Saturday, and again playing on Tuesday. It's not going to be sustainable for players.
Well, we've seen it. All the players dropping like flies, and they've not had a pre-season. If they'd have had a pre-season, because this is the thing that annoys me. You'll hear a commentator on the TV, and they'll discuss it, or, you know, a pundit, and they'll just say, oh, well, they played the same amount of games in October last year and November last year, they'll say. But then they're completely forgetting that the players are half fit going into October and November because they didn't have a pre-season this year to speak of. So they're not going, it's not the same.
Yeah, and I saw...
Well, I'll be going berserk when Everton are in the European Cup next year. And we're playing at 10:30 in the morning.
Well, I think that's all right if it's Everton. I think that's okay, because it should be special for them. Make it a special day, put it at a different time for everybody else. 10 a.m. would be good.
But this is a moot point, because Everton are never going to get into European competition.
Oh, that's a
very nice.
At least not in my lifetime.
So when Kent's not been back.
I know.
Oh, hey,
that was terrible, wasn't it?
He's harsh, him. Tell you what.
Isn't he just?
Billy, I just want to ask you one
like
thing.
If Man United were actually good.
I would be insufferable.
You already are. Don't worry about that.
Billy, I just want to ask you one thing. Do you want to stop the count now?
Do it.
I don't think he heard that, Dave.
Do you want to stop the count?
Yeah.
Should have stopped it a few weeks ago, eh, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a fix, that's what it is, Bill. Fix.
It is, yeah. It's always been a fix.
Well, since we're on about Everton, why don't we talk about your hero and Everton legend, and Man United legend as well, Wayne Rooney. How do you think he's getting on at Derby? And what do you think, what do you think he'll make of it?
He wants the job, but I wouldn't have him as a manager. I don't think he's got the right personality to be a manager. He's not the sort of person you'd look up to as a young player. I think he's got too many skeletons in his cupboard. And for me, he'd be a really bad choice for Derby. But that's just my opinion, of course.
Well, Rooney cannot even manage to arrange the sentence. How can he manage a team?
That's a good point, that deep.
He can't even get a beard home on the sly while his missus is at Lucky without getting caught by the police. So, you know, you've got to worry about his ability to manage things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, none of us would have him if we were in charge of the Rams then.
No. But maybe,
Certainly not.
Maybe Colleen can find some secrets about the players and maybe he can manipulate the board as well.
Well, she's certainly a better manager than him, I think.
He was a great player for United, though, wasn't he, Deep?
I'm not his biggest fan, but still, he's a legend. He's a legend for the amount of years he spent at the club.
I've got to ask.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Listen, the amount of years he spent at the club, although half of it was trying to leave the club for more money, but still he left the club as the highest scorer. So.
Well,
England's highest scorer.
But despite that, do you think he reached his potential?
No.
No.
I think he possibly did. You know, I think he possibly did.
I think with proper professionalism and proper application, he had the talent to be at least as good as Cristiano Ronaldo.
But he was better than him at 16 and 18.
Yeah, when he was, maybe you can say, oh, he was an early boomer and everything, but still, he could have been as good as Cristiano.
If you look at his record, like winning the league, winning cups, England's highest ever scorer, Man United's highest ever scorer.
You can't talk about what trophies he's won to say how good a player he is, because otherwise you'd have to say George Best couldn't even make a World Cup. So does that make Wayne Rooney better? No, it doesn't. You know, team trophies you can't really use them as a yardstick.
Yeah, if we are using trophies to determine who is a better player, then Anderson is a better player than Steven Gerrard.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to agree. I don't think even Anderson thinks he's a better player than Steven Gerrard. I might be wrong there. His mother might think it, but I don't think anybody else.
No, I don't think even his mother does. Even me, as a United supporter, even I cannot say Gerrard is better than Anderson.
Yeah.
So we cannot talk about the trophies because it's also trophies aren't won by a player just by himself. Even when Van Persie won us the trophy, there were other players.
Yeah.
When we won the league, even Van Persie had a patch when he wasn't scoring. He wasn't firing fully.
The manager makes a difference with the tactics as well. So
exactly.
Yeah.
With
Rooney, I just thought, like, you watched him play, and he was still playing like a 16-year-old, running around like a headless chicken when he was in his late 20s. He hadn't learned, anything from his time. He didn't seem to improve at all.
Yeah, and before anybody starts arguing or commenting, saying, "Oh, you guys are harsh" and anything, no, it's an established fact that Rooney is a great player. We're just saying, could he have been even better?
Yeah, that's what always bothered me about him. I thought he could have been one of the best.
A generational talent. Yeah, exactly.
And
he could have been a generational talent, not just a great player.
It annoyed me because you watched him and you think you could be so much more, but and it was choice because he wasn't.
I think he had an attitude that didn't help him.
Yeah.
Probably because where he was brought up and he comes from a horrible family, that's not nice to say, but he did come from he does come from a horrible family.
And his lifestyle as well.
Yeah. But as you say, you can take the kid out of Croxteth. You can't take Croxteth out of the kid.
Yeah, you really need to get Crocky out of a kid if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
you
can
do.
say that as I'm from the best part of Liverpool, obviously in Bootle.
Yeah, I know,
That's the posh part, Deep, in case you're wondering.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
even
posh
the best
part.
part of and even the best part of Liverpool could only manage you.
Yeah, exactly. It's done well. What more could you want? You know, it's greatness. Most countries can only aspire to this kind of greatness, let alone a town. Well, I think we'll end. Oh, apparently there's a major row with Rabiot tonight, who was promised to be a starter and he's not. So apparently there's a bit of a row brewing there. But anyway, yeah, sorry.
No surprises there. No surprises.
I just wanted to know.
Whenever he just causes issues. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I don't think he really wanted to go there. He wanted to go to Liverpool, and it never happened because he's a big Liverpool fan, Rabiot, and he got a cob on when they blocked it. So that all went tits up, and since then he just seems to have had a cob on constantly. You know, a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like I said, knuckle down and we're in the move next time then. But yeah, they don't seem to think like that. They just spoiled brats, aren't they, these days? But anyway, I just wanted to ask Billy, because I saw Don Hutchinson talking on the telly, and I just thought, oh God, remember him? And I'd completely forgotten he played for Everton as well until he was talking about his time there.
Yeah.
And I suddenly thought, oh my God, yeah. But what did you think of him? Because I'm just gonna say, I only remember him, and my whole experience of him is, and I was only young, is this is something that he did more than once, I've got to say, so I wasn't the only one that happened to have seen him do this, because it happened quite a lot, but he had a tendency to drop his kecks and shove his cock in whoever's face happened to be nearest. And I remember seeing him do that in a nightclub once. And it used to cause a few problems with a Liverpool player. Because the worst was, he did it once. He was on an airplane. And he decided to teabag an old lady in front of him. Which obviously didn't go down well with the club. And that was why he ended up we got rid of him. So I just wondered, what was he like at Everton? Was he the same? Because I don't remember. I'd completely forgotten he was there. Was he a decent player for you? Did he cause problems? Anything like that? I just wondered.
He was a good player for us, actually, but he is a loose cannon, and there's lots of stories going around about him at the time.
Yeah.
He was a class joker, and he upset a lot of people, actually, a lot of the hierarchy. But I liked him as a player. I thought he worked hard, and he was Everton through and through when he was there. Yeah, I liked him much.
But there was the same. He still had the same problems because I know he did at West Ham. I think it was.
Yeah, in the pack, and everyone loved him because of that, and he got a bit of a reputation as well. And I liked him, but he was a loose cannon.
So it's a bit like Deep on here then. He's like the Deep
in
the football world, is he?
Well, I'm not speaking to him after what he said about Everton, so...
No, I think he should be made to make a grovelling apology. A written one. I think he should have to post on the Everton site a full written apology to you, I personally think, because that was out of order. What do you reckon, Deep? You think that?
And I was nice to him on the site and all, aren't I, Deep?
Billy, I will apologize to you the day Everton managed to get into Europe.
So the end of the season then, obviously.
Yeah,
I'm not saying which season, just...
I'm saying never.
Billy's an old man, you know. He won't live to see that, let's be honest.
You don't know how true your heart is, yes.
No, you're going to outlive us all out of spite.
That's right.
Billy, even Corona couldn't get you, so we have nobody.
He's got a point there. You beat Corona, didn't you? We should get you a T-shirt with that.
Yeah, I beat Corona.
Corona.
Yeah, I did actually, but I'm strong now.
I bet Deep wouldn't have said he'd have just curled up in a little ball and cried his eyes out.
We made a standard slope in Liverpool.
Yeah, old people tend to be harder as well. They're snowflakes now when they're young.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, Pogba has still not. No, listen. Pogba has still not recovered from this corona, and then you look at Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who's just come back and scoring for fun. It's for older people.
Well, did you see Ronaldo after when he had coronavirus and he still looked like he still looked like fit as a butcher's dog? You're thinking that's just not right.
He really looks after himself, though, doesn't he? You know, he's a top professional, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's another guy that's gonna outlive us.
He looks almost as fit as I do. That's.
I wouldn't go that far.
Chris, you can only look as fit as him when you use Photoshop.
I tell you what, you really are pushing it tonight. Right, that's it. He's definitely banned. We let you ban him for one more, and do you know what? I'm offended now. I'm hurt by that. Truth hurts my ass.
Right, boys.
I think that's it. We're going to have to call it time because Deep wants to get ready to watch Paris Saint-Germain batter United.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Come on,
we have the number.
Do you know what? This would be about the only time when I wouldn't want Man United to lose.
Because you don't like
PSG.
I can't stand PSG. And I'm particularly annoyed with them because they got the Jordan kit for the European thing last season, and it was beautiful, and they had some lovely shoes, and I'm big into me trainees. So I like trainees, and they had the best trainers I've ever seen last year, and they had Paris Saint-Germain logo on the side of them, so I couldn't even get them, even when they were on sale.
Right, boys, I shall see you on the site.
See you next Tuesday then, Bill.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks very much, boys. Thanks, Steve. And thanks, Trish. We'll see you next week.
See you next Tuesday, Bill.
Bye-bye.
See you next Tuesday, Deep.
Cheers, boys.
Bye-bye.
See you again, guys.